this morning we're here to share with you a little bit on our medical mission to Guatemala and then some eye surgeries and healing heart surgeries in India. So I will introduce Grace, and she will share with you a little bit on her role in the dental part of the mission that we had recently in Guatemala. And I should mention, as you can see on the bottom right corner of the screen, that part of this was organized through the United Church Mission Group and the Presbyterian Church Mission Group who worked together in Guatemala. So they were partially responsible for organizing some of our time there. Over a period of 2 weeks, we set up in 8 different locations providing medical services in the remote areas of Guatemala. So Grace?
Thank you, Doug. So you do the present, okay. So this is our group actually. There were 24 of us, and there are Rotarians, nurses, and doctors as well. I'm the dentist. And these are the Mayan women. They're the native in Guatemala, and you can see that's their clothes. Even when they work in the field, they wear these beautiful clothes, very colorful. They have to walk many hours just to see us. And sometimes we set up our clinic in some churches, houses, and later on you're going to see that. And you can see right there at the entrance is Doug and Calvin, and they're actually the crowd control or security guard, because we have to control the people to come in, and they have to register before they would come in and give us the papers. Otherwise, they won't be allowed, because, well, it will be chaos if we're going to send them all. And sometimes we have to rearrange the pews, and so we can do we have our station that we can do our treatment, and you can see some sheets there. That is for our medical doctor. We have 2 family doctors who came with us, and to cover just for privacy for the patient during examination. And this area, we go to the remote areas because this is where the people don't really get the access to have medical and dental treatment. So this one is at the foot of the hill. So people, you can see here, they're lining up early in the morning just to see us, and women, they always carry their babies in their back. And a part of our dental mission, medical and dental mission, is the education in oral hygiene. So we have one of the volunteers to help us here to teach the children how to brush their teeth, and after that they're going to have fluoride treatment. And our nurses, there were about few of the nurses who came, and they're the ones who actually see the patients first and to know and prioritize which one they are. They're going to see a dentist, or for the eyes, or doctors. And you can see how primitive we are. We don't have any lights, so we have to use what we have. This time we have a flashlight, and sometimes we do our checkup and examination in somebody's house, in the dining area, or in the kitchen. And these are some of our doctors, one a doctor, an interpreter, and a nurse. Actually, we have an interpreter with us because most of them, they speak Spanish and Hmong. So we just make sure that the medications are given, the instruction to take them are given in their own language, so that they're going to be taken very well. And this is my team actually, and I also always have 2 assistants with me, and would like to say thank you to Dr. McElroy, Dr. Petrusser, Dr. Craven, and Rose Gizzard, and some of the church friends here who donated their resources to make this free clinic possible. And this is me in action actually, and this is imagine that we have to pack and carry and unpack all our things, including my dental chair, every day because we move to different locations. So all the children, if not all of them, have infections in their mouth. So imagine they have all the swelling and pus in their mouth, and I just have to see them. So yeah, this is one of the time that I treat them. And this lady has a beautiful smile. Even the baby is approving it because she's got a broken tooth, 2 front teeth. One is twisted and the other one is broken and discolored. So I did some cosmetic dentistry in her, and you can see her beautiful smile. She's a beautiful mother. She wanted me to extract it. I said, no, I have with me my equipment. I'm going to do your teeth, and I'm not going to extract 2 of your front teeth. And we did a good job. And as usual, because we have to see, well, I have to see, being the only dentist in the group, I have to see about 45 patients a day, so I have to make a system that we can accommodate all of them. So I usually have 2 assistants, 2 nurses. The other one would prep the patient to put some topical anesthesia, and then I'll be working the other patient. As soon as I'm done here, the other assistant would finish the patient, give them medications. Then I'll move to the other side to put some freezing, and then I'll go back again to the other patient. So it has to be like that. So it's the whole day work, 8 o'clock till 6 in the afternoon. So this time we have an extra dental chair that we were able to borrow. That one, then we were able to do it efficiently. On the 7th day, like my back starting to give up, because like you work long hours for 7 days, and my back was acting up. So I'm just lucky that we have one therapist who came with us, so she helped me ease my pain in my back and stretch it so that I can go on just one more day, and then we're done. And so sometimes we have to set in some houses. So this one actually is already at the top of the mountain. You can see here the house is on top of the mountain, and people will be lining up. Of course, first they have to register, and they have to carry that paper with them, and otherwise we won't let them in. Okay, this one is a story I have to tell you. We inserted this one because, like you saw that we set up in the house, and for people who doesn't have papers, we have to set them up. And this time, Doug really goofed, because these people were going around the area, and Doug asked them. Doug was only 5 Spanish words. Papeles, papeles. No papeles, no puede. No puede. You go out, you go out. And these people are just smiling. They don't complain at all. And so they grouped together and sat underneath the stairs. And later we found out that these people are the owner. They are the owner of the house. Doug is sending them out. Yeah. And so because I was like, see, I'm here in their bedroom, because to do what we can do. So I set up in the bedroom. This is their house, and I'm very busy doing my patients, so I don't know what's going on outside. But unless I would go out for a 3-minute break, and then because I want to see how much people we have outside, and I would know that that's one of the incidents that happened. That Doug sent out those people who owns the house. And but then the people are so nice, they're so patient, and this lady is the mother. Okay, you've seen the picture. There's grandmother, mother, and the children. This is the mother, and they were so grateful with the help that we give to their people. So she picked some flowers in her garden and she gave it to me. I don't know if they know that I'm Doug's wife. And sometimes we set up outside under the heat of the sun. We just put some sheets to cover us. And this is one of the places that we go. We see we're on top of the mountain already. We really went to the really remote area. And lunchtime we'll have about 20-25 minutes for a break. And we would just eat where we're working actually. And this is the pharmacy branch of Joe D'Amoto in Guatemala. Actually, he came with us. He's the pharmacist, so he makes sure that we give the right medications to people. And nurses with him also. It's just also Filipina who assist him. And thanks to the Rotarian who helped this boy's eyes. This boy is actually has only 40% of his eyesight. He's almost blind. And through the help of Rotarian in Guatemala, and through your help, your donation, and people here in the church who also donate money, this boy was able to get back his eyesight. The Rotarians in Guatemala arranged for a specialist, and after a few days, he was operated on. Then he's got his eyesight back. So thank you to all of you who sent donations. And of course, now I'm going to call Doug to continue with our eye surgery and heart surgery in India.
Thanks, Grace. One of the things we have in Rotary are what we call matching grants, where clubs in well-to-do countries around the world will match up with clubs in the developing world, and on these ladies, and then they refer those who need surgery into the village area. And this is kind of an interesting wall with the various charts. Can anybody tell me what the chart on the right would be? The language that one with the little circles would be? Any thoughts? That is the language of illiteracy. So for someone who cannot read the chart, then they hold up their hand like this and tell the doctor what they see, because they can't tell them otherwise if they're illiterate. As we travel around the world, we're usually hosted by United Nations friends and colleagues, or Rotary friends and colleagues, and this was one of the UN colleagues that we stayed with in Mumbai, India. And it's typical that as you enter a different country, a different culture, you learn how they do things there. In this particular part of India, there was a custom that they would put pollen from flowers in a little paste on your forehead with a little dot, which gives you the official welcome into their home. So we always have lots of interesting experiences as we stay in the homes of people around the world. And it's always been curious for me that in India, even if you're in a nice house and you can see that there's a counter there not being used, but yet the ladies always seem to want to do your food preparation on the floor. And if you don't get enough to eat in your host home, then Grace sometimes goes out and tries the street vendor food, which I always am warned against, but she has the iron stomach, so if you haven't heard her stories on that, she'll tell you that sometime. But it's just another part of the cultural experience. And now on to our Healing Little Hearts project. You know, for $1,500, you can save the life of a young child. Through the cooperation of heart surgeons, through the cooperation of hospitals, we are able to do a heart surgery in for approximately $5,000. And when I take $1,500 from this community, I get the local Rotarians in the area to match that. I get the local Rotary Foundation to match that again. We can actually save the life of a child for $5,000. And I want to share a little bit of the journey of healing the little hearts, giving the gift of life. Imagine that you're a cardiologist or a heart surgeon, and you're soon appointed the president of your local Rotary Club. And this was the case a couple of years ago when a Rotarian doctor found himself looking for a project that his club could do. And he challenged his club to sponsor 10 heart surgeries. A colleague of mine in that Rotary Club was made chairman, and that very first year they did 70 life-saving heart surgeries by getting heart surgeons to donate their time, by getting hospitals to donate to facilities if we would pay their out-of-pocket costs. And that's how we do it for $5,000. Imagine being a mother or a father. In this case, the mother's working construction for $75 a month. And you've spent several months trying to determine the problem of your child. And then someone tells you that your child will die if it doesn't have heart surgery within the next few weeks or months. And on $75 a month, you have no hope. Your hope is taken from you. And then all of a sudden you get a call, and there's a guardian angel, someone who you don't even know, someone who is not even from your own home country, someone who may not even speak your language. And you are told that some people around the world who care for others will sponsor the surgery to give a gift of life to your child. And when you walk into the hospital and you visit with the young children and the mothers stay with their children overnight in those hospitals. And when they're told that this man represents the organization that has sponsored your child's surgery, you are overwhelmed with a mixture of gratitude. And some of the mothers just freeze up because they really don't know how to thank you. And when you visit with the doctors, I'm so impressed with the doctors that we have working on these projects. They can go down a row of 18 children and tell you everything, not only their medical history, but they also know everything about the family, how many brothers they got, the parents, where they come from, how long they've been there, a number of days. I'm just totally amazed that even without looking at the charts, they know exactly everything there is to know about each of their patients. What a dedication they have. And in that partnership with Rotary, they are as equally thankful for our part in it as they are for theirs. A happy young boy who had his surgery a few days ago excitement of the parents to know that the child's life has just been saved. And I want you to take particular note that, again, some of the little primitive things that you see as you travel in the developing world is that it looks like they've taken like a popcorn bowl and cut out a little U shape around his neck and put a hose on it as the incubator, because they don't have enough regular child incubators that we would see. And then on to a celebration of the gift of life, where those who are able are invited to a party, and we have balloons, and we have music, and we have magicians, and puppet shows, and everything to celebrate the gift of life for those children. And also it's a way for the Rotarians to sense and feel a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction for those gifts of life that they've provided. And as I said, parents come to you, children come to you, they are in awe. Can you imagine if you met someone who saved your child's life, how you would think? Some stand in front of you and they're just frozen because they're so emotionally wrapped up. They don't know what to say and they don't know what to do. Others break the ice. The young children will come up and lift their little dresses or their shirts to show you their scar as a very powerful yet simple gratitude gesture. And in one particular case, a mother actually gave me her child. And in Hindu, the translators explained to me that she was telling me that you are responsible for the life of this child. Without you and Rotary, I would not have this child anymore. Therefore, the child now belongs to you. And others would come and kiss your feet. A father would take the work day off to come and greet you and hug you so hard you could hardly catch your breath. So in addition to providing the gift of life, our reward is to see the smile on a young child's face and know that a few weeks prior, he could hardly walk a few feet because he would be running out of breath. In this case, this young boy had 8 defects in his heart. And to see him on the stage picking and running after the balloon, and to see his happy family and playing with the other children, that is a great reward. And I want to thank each and every one of you, as well as the Rotarian groups, for helping us to have these experiences, and on your behalf, to travel around the world, because you truly help make a difference. In this case,